when I eventually die, which is going to happen to all of us, I feel good in the way of, even if there's some negative things said about me, no one's going to deny that my time on this earth, I was definitely a hustler, online and off. I've managed to eliminate my rent simply by room rental hack, which is basically you rent the bedrooms in your apartment or a house to eliminate the rent. My rent technically is totally eliminated. The only thing I'm really paying out of pocket is utilities. So the two people I rent to, and I only have a 2-bedroom, but the fact that I have one of those large living room, dining room attached, so it's giving me almost like a section where it's my room that I'm closing off to actually make a bedroom where the living room was. And then the dining room acts as a living room at that point, which is right next to the kitchen. I managed to screen the guys. One has been here a year. The other one's been here, I want to say, at least 6 months already. The average person you rent to is only going to last probably 8 months. I've already gone past that with one of them. Even if they leave, I could screen people and rent the rooms again if I need to. I probably won't. After these guys are gone, I should be able to make enough money with the other things that we're going to be talking about, so I don't have to rent the rooms anymore. But I've rented the rooms. All along while I've been driving for Uber and Lyft, I've been in the background building a media company. I've got 6 YouTube channels. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got 2 personal pages on Facebook, as well as, I want to say, 2 business pages and a group. I do have a TikTok. We don't know how that's going to go, but for now, I am building that out. A couple Instagrams. I would say my total follow count is probably at this rate about 10,000 and growing. Just the strategies that I'm using in a company called Internet Income System, and they give you backdoor training called Atlas Academy. I've managed to ramp those up to the point where I'm probably getting, on average, probably, I would say 20 to 30 new subscribers a day with my total follow count. But that's a day. Every day, 20 to 30 new people. So I've already figured out how to grow out a media company. So that's not making any real money yet, but it will down the line. Meanwhile, with Uber and Lyft, I now realize it makes more sense to set up my own actual transportation company, but don't just focus it on limousine taxi. Focus it on delivery. Focus it on the courier style business. Non-emergency transportation, which is still picking people up, but we're eliminating Uber and Lyft as the middleman, so we can capture. They're getting a lot of money to do medical transportation. It's not emergency medical transportation. We can get licensed for that in Connecticut. We'll get licensed to be a courier in Connecticut. And this won't just be me. I'm going to hire drivers as I purchase new vehicles. I'm going to hire drivers to build that business out. That's probably going to be a separate entity. And the media marketing arm, which is the media company, is going to be a separate entity. And my holding company is where all the affiliate dollars go. So I have a plan for the next 5 years of my life already set in motion. And for the first time in my life, I actually believe I can accomplish everything I set out because I'm not alone. You got to get the proper training. You got to get the proper guidance. Because I now understand that it's not just about being the influencer. I wouldn't even consider myself an influencer. Maybe a micro-influencer at this point. Yeah, I would probably consider myself a micro-influencer. I won't consider myself a influencer until I'm probably at about, even if I had 20 to 50,000 subscribers on one channel, at that point I would be a micro-influencer, because my total count will probably be close to 100 if you combine everything. You know, basically what Glendon Cameron's talking about doing with Hustlers Kung Fu, where he's building out a brand, I've already been building a brand. I just didn't look at it like that, and I didn't like word it like that, but I've been building a brand the whole time. You know, and I realize it's smart to take the software publisher code, because now we're going to involve ChatGPT and do our own GPT, because we're going to go up to ChatGPT Plus or 4, and they give you the ability now to build your own GPT. You can send it out with links. So now when you go to these banks and say I'm a software publisher, you're really a software publisher. You have your own software that you can actually show them to prove that you're a software publisher, but you're really an acquisitions company that is driven by marketing. But as you build this whole empire, media empire, I'm going to be purchasing new companies along the way, smaller new companies, creating new companies. So it's basically going to be another holding company, but I'm doing it with the intent that I may go public or sell in the future and still remain on the board. That'll be part of my sale agreement, and I'm talking about doing this with the lawyers. Have the lawyers set it up right so I don't get sued, get the right insurance. And I'm not even rushing building out the media company, because remember, the media company's building itself. Every time I put out a new video, it's building itself. So I'm going to have endless content. I just got to get it on my own platform where it looks like intellectual property for the banks. Because with it being on YouTube, they don't look at it as, even though I own all the channels, my media company will own all the channels, but they don't really look at it as intellectual property until you got at least a few thousand people on your own platform. And then you also have the software, the GPT. So if I do this right, the banks in the future will just be throwing money at me. But all along, I'm just doing the affiliate offers under the videos that go to my current company, which will help me fund putting together the transportation company. I know I'm all over the place, but this is how my mind works. And I think it'll be easier to get grants on the local and federal level for the transportation company if I set it up right. Because I'll be doing non-emergency transportation. And if I get the code for that, I think that's going to help me get a lot of state level funding. And you only have to have a 680 to get this funding. Sometimes even less, like 640 to get, state and this local funding I'm talking about. And Connecticut has some programs out there. They just want types of businesses that create jobs. Transportation companies like this create jobs because I can hire drivers. And I can also sign up on the limousine tip, because we're going to be going with the minivan, to still do Uber, Lyft. But that's really a filler. I don't feel like Uber or Lyft makes money like it used to. It just doesn't. So that's my mindset. That's where we're going this year. We have a plan. It's just funny. Like, somebody even mentioned it to me. It seems like Glenn to be listening to you. I'm too small for Glenn to really pay attention to. But I do feel like that sometimes. Certain things I say, I feel like the bigger YouTubers, it seems like next week they're doing it. You know, but I got to remember that, you know, it could be just coincidence. You know, I don't want to believe that I'm that big. But I know Troy was watching my videos. Troy was definitely watching my videos because he tried to implement some things that I said, but it's too late, Troy. It's too late. Your reputation is so bad, nobody wants to do business with you anymore. And the new Black Tape was coming with this whole program. I didn't even mention that, but I'm going to have a membership down the line with a local thing that we're going to do, probably an event space. And that's when the channel's just going to blow up, guys, because I'll have footage with actual people in the background, you know, to help support my vision. That's down the line. I don't even want to talk about it yet. But we got a lot we got to do this year. And we're going to get the government to help us do it. That's the funny part. I am not against handouts. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.